Welcome to the Thought Grenade podcast. My name is Colin.
And I'm Tyler.
And today we are going to be talking about space.
Yes.
Because Bill Nye's my dad.
Bill Nye is not my dad.
Oh.
Although I can't confirm that. I wasn't there when I was conceived.
Could be your dad.
That's true.
You never know. But I've listened to a couple more episodes of the Science Rules podcast. And it's got my wheels turning about space and some cool stuff. Something specifically that happened fairly recently, I think. I'll have to look it up. I have it pulled up. I don't know when it was from though. And then something later could be considered a conspiracy theory. I don't personally consider it as a conspiracy theory.
I mean, I'm down with conspiracy theories.
Well, we were talking about something the other day that we were like, I said I don't think it's a conspiracy theory anymore.
I think that was that the flat Earth theory?
Yeah, the
flat
Earth.
That shouldn't be considered a theory.
That's not a conspiracy
be.
theory. It's just people being stupid.
Correct.
Space. Are you ready?
I'm ready. I got NASA. He's ready to fly into space.
Not bad for a running back. Lamar Jackson, MVP.
He is not bad for a running back.
He's not too shabby. So the thing that got me. So this article's from 2017. I don't know.
Fairly recent.
Fairly recent. An asteroid from another galaxy entered our galaxy. Have you heard about this?
I have not.
So I'm gonna try to pronounce it. It's a Hawaiian name. If you're Hawaiian, don't judge me. I looked up the way to pronounce it's down here, but it's weird. So I'm gonna tell you how it's telling me to pronounce it. I guess I can show you too. But so it's H. So that's its name. How it's spelled.
Oh boy.
On Bill Nye's podcast, they called it Oumuamua, which, according to this, the phonetic way to pronounce it is not that.
Oumuamua?
Yeah, I was trying to read it before we started, and
you can't think of it like you have to
it sounds
just say
weird,
it.
So, but
I mean, we can refer to it as Mua.
We could.
All right.
So Mua is a space rock.
Okay.
That traveled from another galaxy. We don't know where it came from.
Yep.
But it entered our galaxy and then left our galaxy very quickly.
Got it.
Very fast.
Yep.
So a little bit of the article. It was first spotted in October. It doesn't have the year still, but it was first spotted in October. And name is Oumuamua. We'll go with that.
Okay.
And it means, in the Hawaiian language, it means messenger sent from the distant past to reach out to us. That's a really cool name.
Yeah.
Where'd it go? I lost it.
Right.
Shit.
Let me look something up too while you're reading that for me.
So it's cigar shaped. It's a cigar shaped rock. This is a picture that an artist drew of it.
Okay. It kind of looks like a spear as well.
But it's estimated to be up to a quarter mile long, so 400 meters long. But it's 10 times longer than it is wide. So it's just flying penis.
Oh boy.
Just hurtling through the universe,
waiting to fuck someone
at 59,000 miles per hour.
Pretty quick.
Pretty fast.
Yep.
And it doesn't say it here, but one thing they brought up on Science Rules, his co-host said that some people think it could be an alien spacecraft because when it entered our galaxy, the shape, right? Most asteroids are not phallic.
Yeah.
They're round.
Yeah.
This one's
they're more ball.
Yeah, they're more ball.
Shaft.
This is shaft. So it's shaped oddly, something that we've never really seen before. It had a red hue to it.
Yep.
That we saw. And it was traveling as it came away from our sun, it got faster. So as it kind of got further away from what was pulling it here, it was actually traveling faster, which they found really strange.
So as it escaped gravity, it started to go faster.
So like it got the way my understanding of gravity works with the sun is something like this would be pulled to it, and then it would like kind of slingshots around it. That's when we orbit it. But you get slower as you get away from it because you're further away from the gravitational center, and then you come back around and get pulled back into it and you speed up. So as it was going further away, it was actually speeding up when it left. I don't have that pulled up, unfortunately. So, but that's what they said. It was really cool.
Yeah.
What'd you look up?
I looked up, so where we are right now recording this is my apartment, which is in Ballston Spa. And so recently, there was this is just relevant to the whole meteor thing. Yeah. Apparently people saw like a flash of green or bluish light. So I looked this up here and it says, Saratoga County Sheriff, meteor likely cause, this is a quote from them, meteor likely cause of widespread Sunday night explosion report.
I think I remember that.
Yeah, I didn't even know anything about this, and then I was just on my phone, and it just has the recommendation, like the recommended stories for you, and so one of them was that people were seeing a flash of light in this area. So, and then looking into it later, they think it was a meteor, but no one knows where it is.
No one knows where it landed.
No one knows where it landed.
Could have burnt up.
That's people thought that. So it just says a meteor is likely the cause of Sunday night's widespread reports of an explosion and green light over Saratoga County. They issued their conclusion Thursday, 4 days after Saratoga County dispatchers were deluged with 911 calls reporting the explosion and light in the overcast sky. So I just thought that was interesting. That very recently,
yeah, that was a couple months ago,
January 2nd, 2020. So yeah, about 2 months ago.
Crazy.
Just in this area that we had seen that, and but it could have burnt up, and we just have no idea where it is.
The thing about this that makes us crazy, right, is I don't know if it's a theory or if it's a proven thing. I guess I probably should have looked it up, but amino acids, which are a building block of our life, have been theorized or found or whatever to be on asteroids. I think it's true. I don't know if it's totally true.
Yeah.
But and if that is the case, and there's amino acids on asteroids or on whatever Oumuamua was, and it's can travel between galaxies, because that's the biggest thing. This is the first time we've seen it. It's probably happened a gajillion, bajillion, an unquantifiable amount of times in the past, and we've just never been able to catch it until now. So if that's the case, are amino acids a building block somewhere else in the universe, in a neighboring galaxy, that could then build life there as well, like it helped build life here?
I mean, it's very possible. I think so. Aliens. So I think that is a big thing. I think there's, like you had brought up before, there's two ways to look at it. It's that it's such a random occurrence if you look at it from an evolution standpoint. Like, it's such a random occurrence that these perfect things happened. Like, would it ever happen again somewhere else? Or you can look at it as there's so many galaxies and almost opportunities for it to happen again that it'd be a mistake to think it's not going to happen. I think there is life out there.
I think there has to be, even if it's not advanced life. Like, I could accept we're the only advanced life in the universe. Be fine with that. But to tell me that there's not a single-celled organism out there that survives on something harmful to us, like a UV ray. They absorb copious amounts of UV rays to survive. Maybe that's what they do. Maybe that's how they lived. Like, I think it's illogical to just say we're the only life, because
I think so.
It's it's essentially impossible that we're here.
Even if you look at like the rest of life on Earth, like there's not just humans.
Right.
Like, look at all the different fish. Like we talked about before, the fish in the deepest parts of the ocean. Those are
totally different.
So those, but they adapt. Like they can live in the circumstances that other things can't because of how their bodies start to function.
Right.
So I think that could occur definitely somewhere else, like another planet, another galaxy.
In the galaxy. I always do that. The universe is always expanding.
Yes.
And it's expanding faster. It gets faster. So it's kind of the same thing as Oumuamua when it got faster as it went away. The universe, from its starting point, as it's expanded outwards and gotten bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, it's speeding up. It's expanding at an even faster rate than ever before.
Yeah,
and
exponentially.
It gets faster every single time we measure it, do the whatever we do. We have a formula.
Yeah, it's essentially infinite at this point.
Yeah, which is the point I bring up to people when I've talked about this, which I don't talk about very often because most people don't want to talk about it. Nerdy.
I mean, you see this stuff?
I know.
Nerdy is my middle name.
If the universe is expanding and expanding faster every single hour or whatever it is, we'll go with that. And it's always expanding.
Yep.
New galaxies are always coming into light, essentially. Because when we look at the way the universe is expanding, it's more like the light is getting there finally. We can finally see it.
Yeah.
So, but new galaxies, we're always finding new galaxies, and in those galaxies, we're finding new planets, and it's almost asinine for when someone tells me there's no, like, we're so rare. It's like, well, yeah, we are so rare, but we're also one planet of essentially an infinite pool of planets.
Yeah.
How can we be the only ones? Yeah. That doesn't make any sense.
It really does.
Like, there's a really long equation. I don't understand these words. They're using words that I don't understand. I wish they just gave me a concrete answer, like the universe expands this quickly. But it's always getting faster, so it's always changing, so they can't really give.
Yeah, so that's why they have that equation.
That's the answer. That's kind of the first part. There's more. But wait, there's more.
Oh, wait.
OxyClean.
After this ad. Wait, we don't have those yet.
This episode of Thought Grenade Podcast is brought to you by OxyClean.
Not a sponsor. Not yet.
So,
come on, OxyClean.
One of the best estimates that we have right now for... This is a bit of a dated article, so it could be either more accurate, lower, higher, I'm not sure. But yeah, at the point, this was in 2018... and it says, if we made the most straightforward estimate using today's best technology, we'd state there are about 170 billion galaxies. So, that's a large number.
That's quite a few.
Yeah, that's a lot. And then, in my other article, it says that I think it said there's an estimate of one exoplanet per star that we can see. And if there's 100, what was the number? 170?
Yeah, 170 billion.
If there's 170 billion galaxies, there's a metric buttfuck ton of stars in each galaxy.
Yep.
And if there's one, it's an estimate of one.
One.
Like our sun has 8. The math just doesn't add up.
Yeah.
Regardless, I think people get pigeonholed into the idea that life is going to look like us in some way.
Yeah.
Like, I think they get...
Like walking and talking. Like, they don't necessarily have to have some sort of language. Even.
No, they don't even have to... They could be microscopic.
Right.
If we can find them and we can say, that's a cell and it's alive, that's awesome.
Hmm.
We'd probably kill it, but it's still cool. Oh, I'm getting all worked up.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many forms of life. Again, like microscopic.
Just on our planet.
Yeah, exactly.
It could be anything. It doesn't have to be a human.
I remember
or advanced.
When they were talking about like Mars, like there's like, oh, there's the chance that there's water on Mars, which could be a life form. It's frozen water, correct? So
that's called ice.
Yeah,
we call that ice.
That's what I meant. I don't know why I said frozen water. Whatever, it doesn't matter. It was water at one point. But
still water. It's just cold.
It's very cold. So cold that it's changed from a liquid to a solid, called ice now. So yeah, there's ice on Mars. That meant that there's the chance that there could be life forms there, even microscopic. So even that's within our own solar system.
Right.
So I think that there is nothing else outside, and there's 170 billion galaxies. I think that's a little bizarre.
I would almost say it's ignorant.
True.
It's one of my favorite words because a lot of people don't know what ignorant means.
Yeah.
It means unknowing. You don't know.
Or refusing to know. Ignorant. It depends.
Anyway, Mars is cool. They talked about that in the episode Science Rules. I think it's called "Should Space Be Explored?" I think it was an earlier episode because there was no guest. It was just Bill and Corey.
Yeah. So like our podcast early, we don't have any guests yet.
Yeah.
We're working on
exactly. But they were talking. So we have Mars with the rovers. And one of the goals is to find a way to get to the ice, hit the ice, and observe it and see what it is. Because do they know if it's water? I haven't looked into this.
I haven't looked into it recently.
Is it confirmed to be water?
I don't know, because I just remember hearing like rumors almost about that years ago.
Because I know I
can try and find out real quick.
Is it Jupiter or maybe a moon? Somewhere in our galaxy, there's a planet or moon that has liquid methane that like covers everything, like pools and oceans of liquid methane.
Yep.
But who are we to say that life couldn't adapt in methane? I don't know. It's just life finds a way, right? What's that from? Jurassic Park, right? Life finds a way. I think it's Jurassic Park. I might have to cancel this podcast. I might leave.
So just from a quick googly search here. Almost all water on Mars today exists as ice, though it also exists in small quantities as vapor in the atmosphere. Abundant water ice is also present beneath the permanent carbon dioxide ice cap at the Martian South Pole and in the shallow subsurface at more temperate conditions.
But it's confirmed to be H2O.
I would assume so. If it's going to say water here.
So, if water is, to us, it's a fundamental building block of life on Earth. So if there's another planet out there with water on it, obviously now probably doesn't harbor life just because the atmosphere and all the specific conditions that we have for our life. But in the past, could there have been? Possibly. Just like, I think Venus is the planet that's closest to Earth. And scientists found, with their magical ways that I don't understand at all, that for the first half of its existence was probably a habitable planet, very similar to Earth.
Yep.
And over time it has developed and it's changed into a hellhole, an inferno, I'm pretty sure, constantly at all times, very warm. And all of this stuff kind of leads to the idea of, did we originate? You know, you look at Oumuamua, if it carries amino acids, could we have come from another planet in another galaxy? You know, we don't know. I don't think they know the path. Again, I probably should have done more research. I don't think they have the whole path mapped out. Like, they have certain asteroids in our galaxy, and they have the entire path that it follows mapped out.
Yeah.
I think they have it for that one. But could life have come from somewhere else? Did we originate on Mars and come here? Did we Was Venus this way? Which way does the solar system work?
Well, it's a line.
No shit. Like they said something in the episode of Science Rules where I think Venus is this way.
Here's a picture.
Which one's Venus?
Venus.
Okay, so Venus is so I had it backwards.
Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter.
Yeah, we should have sang the song from Drake and Josh.
Yeah.
When they were on the phone. The idea with Venus potentially being habitable in the past, very similar to Earth, in its formings when pieces were breaking off or when it was getting hit by stuff and just kind of worked its way down Earth broke off and hit Mars, so on and so forth. So when Venus chunks were breaking off and pummeling Earth, if life was on Venus at the time,
even
or the
especially
building
in its
blocks,
most system or its smallest form,
even if it was just the chemistry, like if
Correct.
amino acids came from Venus and was on a rock and it smashed into Earth in the time, could that have happened, or did we originate there and we changed the planet into what it is and then moved to Earth? And the same thing, there's the theory of Mars too. Did
we're gonna go to Mars?
Cause that?
Maybe.
Which is
maybe we're gonna keep moving down the line.
Yeah, we're just gonna keep going, and we're gonna figure it out, and then we're gonna get to Pluto, and no one's gonna fit on.
This is also kind of honest. So NASA has big plans for returning astronauts to the moon in 2024. Were you aware of this?
No.
So, a stepping stone on the path to sending humans to Mars, but where should the first people on the red planet land? A new paper published by Geophysical Research Letters will help by providing a map of water ice believed to be as little as an inch, 2.5 centimeters below the surface. So, pretty accessible.
That's really close.
Water ice will be a key consideration for any potential landing site. With little room to spare aboard a spacecraft, any human missions to Mars will have to harvest what's already available for drinking water and making rock. So this is I say that's the key location for them to land. So that's where they've mapped out that there's water somewhat close under the surface.
That's cool. No, I didn't. I had no idea about that.
Yeah, so that's a little fun fact. We're going back. Well, not me, but
no, I'm not going.
They're going. Thanks,
going.
guys.
We'll die before they actually get there and do stuff. It would take so long and so much.
Well, that even said in 2024. So in 4 years from now, they're going to the moon.
Yeah.
To get ready to go to Mars.
Exactly.
So
it's the same thing in 2023. We're sending an unmanned spacecraft to one of the moons of Jupiter. It's Europa. I think it's the smallest moon, but it's the one. It's like all ice everywhere. Really thick ice.
Yeah.
But underneath the ice is water.
Yeah.
Or
probably.
So the idea is, if we can get there, take samples of the ice, find a way to get to the water and take samples of the water, then we can study it. But also,
I hope there's leviathans there.
I
hope there's something they get attacked or something.
Well, that's.
I know, but I think it'd be cool.
It would be cool.
It'd also make a cool movie.
It would.
We should make a movie.
We should make a movie.
Copyrighted. Don't take that idea.
You can't have that. It's ours. I don't know how often it happens, but just plumes of water shoot through the ice, super high up in the air. Something's pressurizing the water, and it gets sent up through. But if we can time it and land somewhere where that happens, if we can map that happening, then we don't have to drill through the ice to get the water. We just land, take the water, sample it. So we're very focused on finding water places. Hopes to find life that's like us.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Is water? We're focusing on water because you had mentioned that it may not be something similar to us, but water. I mean, for us as well as most living things, water is pretty important.
Necessity. So that's what they're looking for. It's just cool to think about. It's cool to learn. I think it's really silly to write off the idea that there's nothing else out there.
I think so.
I can understand why people would think it, just because, we've been around for as long as we have, nowhere near the amount of the universe or other planets. But that's kind of the thinking is, well, we've only been around for this short time period, and look what we can do.
Yeah.
So if someone came along 10,000 years before us and are still around and they're surviving, how come they haven't taken the steps to be able to? How come we don't live? How come they don't live in Star Wars?
Yeah,
like we're here and we've created Star Wars in our minds, but if they exist, how come they're not? They aren't Star Wars, right? Why can't they travel at light speed and jump through hyperspace?
But then maybe they are.
And maybe they are, and they just don't want to talk to us. Who knows?
Like,
Give us the
idiots.
Yeah. Losers. We don't want to sit with you guys.
They're at the cool table, and we're just in the corner trying to figure it out. But I mean, it's definitely a possibility.
I think it has to be.
Yeah, I definitely believe that there's something out there. So,
and the Oumuamua is someone's gonna ride in. That was a traveling dong-shaped hotel for aliens.
It might a hotel makes sense actually. So they have like tubes.
There's like a bus,
each of them.
a train or something,
and then they're just gonna ram into us
train.
and like inject themselves almost.
I like where you're going with this.
Yeah. So who knows?
I think we just figured it out.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Momo's gonna crush us.
Exactly. It's just
and
gonna
inject us.
Yeah, it's gonna impale the planet.
While we're recording this podcast, it's gonna go
seed
right here.
Oh god.
You just gotta hope it doesn't start spilling its seed before it lands.
I don't want it to pre-jack. Oh god.
That's never a good thing.
It's never a good thing to pre-jack. I'm kind of out of space stuff now.
No more space stuff?
Not really. Well, we're traveling. There's a project currently to send an unmanned spacecraft to Venus by 2023. At the earliest, probably going to be later.
All right. Well,
that's kind of
you kind of touched on this, and we talked about it with like the flat Earth stuff. Conspiracy theories.
Right.
Oh, we didn't talk about the flat Earth because that's dumb.
No, that's dumb. Don't believe that. Hey, if you believe that, stop believing that.
Doesn't like Kevin Durant believe it? It's one of those.
No,
players.
Kyrie Irving.
Okay.
Suppose we don't know if he's still
stupid. All right. What about chemtrails?
Fake news. The fakest of news. I've never understood that one. Like, people who built the engines are just like, yeah, it's water vapor. It needs to happen, essentially. We can't stop it.
I think it makes sense. Not chemtrails. I don't think it's real.
I was like,
no, I was agreeing with you.
I'm going to leave
I think it makes sense that it's vapor.
Yeah, it's just...
So to believe that it's just they're intentionally like poisoning us? I'm not against like intentionally poisoning us. They might be.
They probably are.
But...
that's what this is.
Yeah, exactly. It's in our water supply.
Yeah, they're making the frogs gay.
They're turning the frogs gay. They might be. I don't know.
Yeah, I doubt it.
Probably not.
Probably not.
Well, here's one. This is New Coke. I don't know what this is. A theory claims that Coca-Cola intentionally changed to an inferior formula with New Coke, with the intent either of driving up demand for the original product or permitting the reintroduction of the original with a new formula using cheaper ingredients.
That sounds stupid.
And then so the president of Coca-Cola came out and said the truth is we're not that dumb, and we're not that smart.
I respect him, but that's a stupid conspiracy theory. Like, that shouldn't be considered a conspiracy theory.
Hasn't the Coke formula changed? Because then they actually have
they
cocaine leaves.
Yeah.
Man, can we get that old Coke back?
Right.
Come on.
That's why it sells for so much.
Doesn't it? Can you still buy old Coke?
Yeah.
Like
it's probably not drinkable. I wouldn't recommend drinking it. People will collect it.
It's probably a little flat.
Yeah. The New World Order. Why'd you skip that one?
Oh, did you want to read in that one?
That one's like...
well, you have a general census of it. What's your opinion on it? Before I read this, what's your opinion on it?
I think it's highly plausible.
All right, give me 1 second. I just gotta reset the recording.
Oh god. They'll never even know. Oh, that was almost perfect. 30 minutes. Face talk.
Got 27 minutes on my SD card, so shut up.
Ooh, this one's gonna be a little short.
Oh.
A little shorter.
I mean, we could just not do the video for the outro, but also, if you're just listening, we do have video now.
Yes.
On YouTube, where it's actually us in person. Us, if you're watching.
This guy.
So
you can read my shirt.
Yep.
I hope. That's my shirt. See, if you're listening, you don't know what my shirt says. You do, because
we mentioned
I'm not going to spoil it. They don't know that. They don't know what I'm talking about.
No, we were just talking about random stuff.
We're just talking about Lamar Jackson because he's my dad, too.
Because there's a conspiracy theory that he's really good. Yeah. But that one's true. So. Mm-hmm. All right, so the New World Order
plausible.
This theory states that a group of international elites controls governments, industry, and media organizations with the goal of establishing global... That word. We're just gonna that. A global
Why didn't
power.
They just use, like, homogeny? Homogenous means one.
Yeah, I don't know if this is misspelled.
Maybe.
Well, let me find this out.
Okay.
It's a Wikipedia, so... Here, we'll just play it.
Hegemony.
Hegemony. Okay.
Interesting.
I have not heard that one before.
Me neither.
I'm not dumb. Okay, I'm a little dumb. Which is leadership or dominance, especially by one country or social group over others. So they are alleged to be implicated in most of the major wars of the last 2 centuries. They carry out and secretly staged events and deliberately manipulate economies. Organizations alleged to be part of the plot include the Federal Reserve System, the Council on Foreign Relations, Trilateral Commission, the Bilderberg Group, the European Union, the United Nations, and the World Bank. The World Bank, the International Monetary Fund, Bohemian Grove, Le Circle, and Yale University. Your social skull and bones.
Right.
So that.
Oh God.
So,
Idiot.
Yale University Society Skull and Bones. So that's like the Brotherhood, I'm pretty sure, which is like a what was it called? Like a Templar, Knights of the Templar.
Okay. Yeah.
Or like
that
Illuminati.
From have you ever watched the show about like the Blue Rose? Do you know what
I don't.
There's like a show that's not called I can't remember what it's called. This kid, they live in a magic world, and he goes to a college, and they have like a
so it's like that,
but they're like wizards, so it's way cool.
That is pretty cool.
Yeah, really bad show.
Okay.
Awful acting.
Doesn't sound very
really cool concept.
Yeah.
Don't
you hate when shows do that? They're like, this is good, but this is bad.
The Order of the Blue Rose. It's something like that.
So it says that some of the people. So it says claims that the Illuminati are secretly promoting the positive New World Order. Theorists believe that a wide range of musicians, including Beyonce and Whitney Houston, have been associated with the group. Prominent theorists include Mark Dice and David Icke. I've listened to some David Icke stuff.
Yeah.
He's a wacko.
Okay.
I don't think this theory is that... Okay, I can understand like a hint of why people believe that.
Yeah.
He's a wackadoodle.
It's plausible. This next one, the Denver airport.
Yep.
So this is the one that I've heard on a podcast. There's a synopsis here, but essentially, the Denver airport is just fucking weird.
Yeah, it is.
There's murals of like Nazi soldiers killing people, and obviously it's like a mural. But I think it's abstract. I haven't looked it up. I would assume it's an abstract kind of thing, but you look, and they're like all right next to each other. There's a horse outside, and the horse fell and killed the person. It's a statue. It's not a real horse.
Yeah. Okay.
It's a statue, of course. And the person that created this statue was killed by it because it fell on him. And they still put it up. And so at night, its eyes apparently glow red.
Nope.
And there's supposed to be tunnels underneath.
Yeah, so
for the like elite, for the freaking New World Order people, so they go underneath it.
Quick synopsis is: some theorists believe that the Denver International Airport stands above an underground city, which serves as a headquarters of the New World Order. Theorists cite the airport's unusually large size, its distance from Denver city center, Masonic and alleged satanic symbols, as well as a set of murals which include depictions of war and death.
That's crazy.
That is pretty weird. Leave it to them.
What else we got here? The Freemasons. I don't even know. Is that really a conspiracy theory at this point? Isn't that just like...
Well, that's
they
a thing.
Existed.
Yeah, so the theory is more like what their whole thing consisted of. But yeah. Israel animal spying. Alleged that Israel uses animals to conduct espionage to attack people. These are often associated with conspiracy theories about Zionism. Matters of interest to theorists include a series of shark attacks in Egypt in 2010, Hezbollah's accusations of the use of spying eagles, and the 2011 capture of Griffin vulture carrying an Israeli-labeled satellite tracking device. I mean, If that's not a theory, it's kind of smart.
I mean, like when we used to use carrier pigeons.
Yeah, but like they're spying
for espionage.
Like in what is the mythology? Norse mythology or
Norse ravens.
Yeah, Odin's ravens always are doing the spying for him.
Mm-hmm.
Are there any? You think any? Are there any specific conspiracy theories that stick out in your mind though?
Bush did 9/11.
Now, is that one that you believe to be true?
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if. I mean, Bush did 9/11 is kind of a meme at this point, but yes. I wouldn't be surprised if it was of death. I don't know. I don't really want to get too in depth on it because it's a very touchy subject.
Yeah,
but it's
and we want you to live.
Yeah, I want to not be killed
so that we can continue recording these.
Kind of along the same lines as the New World Order. I understand why people think it's a thing, and I've seen some stuff that is like, hey, that's weird.
Yeah.
And like, if a plane hits a skyscraper, do you know what they use to build skyscrapers?
Steel.
Really thick steel.
Yeah.
You know what they use to build airplanes? Not really thick anything.
Like aluminum?
Aluminium.
Yeah.
Titanium. Like really light.
Because they're light.
They're strong, but they're light. So it's like, and then it hit it at a weird point, and then the whole building fell, and it's like, that's not how physics work.
And supposedly there was like a different angle of the camera, like we only saw one angle.
Yeah, it's just, there's a bunch of weird stuff. I don't know. I would be shocked. The U.S. government. Yeah. They turned frogs gay.
Yeah.
And replaced birds with drones. Have you heard that one?
I have not.
It's the same guy or it's not the same guy. But
Alex Jones?
Yeah, it's not Alex Jones. It's a different person. Apparently, Obama killed every bird on the planet and replaced it with a drone bird to spy on you. There's a bird.
There's a bird in my wall.
Yeah,
and he's been spying on me.
Yep, he's been spying on you. There's things like that, but
I was gonna let him stay there. But
9/11.
Yeah, right. The multiple attacks made on the U.S. by terrorists using hijacked aircraft on 11 September 2001 have proved especially attractive to conspiracy theorists. Theories may include reference to missile or hologram technology. By far, the most common theory is that the attacks were in fact controlled demolitions, a theory which has been rejected by the engineering profession and the 9/11 Commission.
I mean, I'm not an engineer.
Neither am I.
Light plane hits...
Look, there's Alex Jones.
Light plane hits big building at top, and it falls apart from the middle. Whatever. We'll just gloss over it.
So look, we talked about flat Earth. Well, we didn't, because we're not going to talk about that. But other things they think is like the moon isn't real; it's projection.
Yeah, and like the moon landing was fake.
Yeah,
those people are stupid.
You don't think the moon landing was fake?
No. Why would we fake that? What do we gain from faking that?
Because winning the space race.
Yeah. Okay.
Even though we lost the space race because we just kept pushing the bar back. If you think about it, have you ever thought about that? No. So it's like, okay, the first ones were to space, Russians.
Right.
First one's like to put a thing, Russians.
Right.
First thing to orbit the Earth, Russians. First one to the moon, U.S. We win.
We win. Yeah.
We win.
We win in our book.
So that was the kind of thing. Like, it's just because we kept pushing the goal line back. Like,
yeah.
we're only first in like that one thing, really.
But one that mattered.
Did it though? Did it really matter getting there?
Yeah, we got moon rocks. They still study those moon rocks.
Probably so. Oh, Barack Obama is a whole conspiracy theory here.
Yeah, there's a bunch.
Has been subject of numerous. Denies the legitimacy of President Obama by claiming that he was not born in the U.S.
Mm-hmm.
Knew that.
Yeah.
That
was lame. The next one though, Jeffrey Epstein.
That one's not a theory.
Didn't kill himself.
He didn't kill himself. That one was too weird. Like, he definitely did not kill him.
Yeah, I doubt it. I doubt it. Government shady.
It's a good thing we're not a big podcast.
His elite, yeah. We're just losing actual friends.
Yeah, that's fine.
Sorry. I'm not sorry.
I was trying to think of other ones that I know of. Conspiracy theories are so bizarre, though.
Well, there's a lot of, there's the conspiracy theory that a lot of people celebrities have been replaced
Oh yeah, they die.
They die and they get replaced. Like there's one.
And then in
Eminem.
songs, like they're like in their songs, they like so and so is dead. Or there's a Beatles song, and it's like if you play it in reverse, it says like
I don't know what it says either.
But it says like one of the members is dead.
There's a song too. I think it's Stairway to Heaven. If you play that backwards, it's like demonic. Yeah. I don't know, it's weird. But there's one like there's one.
I think a lot of it's our minds just putting something where it's not.
Probably. So like Eminem apparently died, and he was replaced.
Yeah. Avril Lavigne, I think, was one. She could have died, and no one would blink an eye at this point.
That's kind of fucked.
I'm just saying.
I mean, now, yeah,
but yeah, she's irrelevant.
The theory
which is sad, but
the theory is she died like in her
prime.
Career,
yeah.
So her label and like her family said, well, she can't die because she's going to make us a lot of money.
Yeah.
So let's rewind that back. This was one. This one was. They talked about it on the Brothers to the End episode. What was her name? The girl has a name, and she like. There's a picture of Avril Lavigne with this girl's name on her arm or her hand or something.
Melissa.
Yeah, Melissa. She was her body double. So the theory is that Avril Lavigne died, and they replaced her with Melissa. Because, like, her outfits changed and her voice changed. And it was, like, right after her grandfather or grandmother died or something. And she couldn't deal with it. It's crazy. Crazy story.
I mean, the only thing I've found out so far, I've scrolled a little bit. I didn't know she's Canadian, honestly.
That's all we need to know.
Yeah, right? And those Canadians are sus. See, Paul McCartney, that's who I was trying to think of.
Oh, yeah, I've heard that one.
So it says, did you know that she was replaced by a lookalike in 2003? At least that's what the internet would have you believe. The old conspiracy that was cloned resurfaced on Twitter over the weekend, but it was bandied and has been
sure
about the internet since 2005 and is thought to have originated in a Brazilian fan page. Like Brazilians. Probably high on some shrooms or something.
Yeah, so there's a bunch of them.
Yep. Paul McCartney, Taylor Swift. They look nothing alike. Beyonce's
popular in conspiracy theory.
Well, her and Jay-Z, they like run the Illuminati. So. I mean, it's kind of.
But most conspiracy theories are like the Illuminati. I feel like the Illuminati's not even like people just kind of accept it. Like no one talks about it anymore.
Yeah.
Like it's almost not a conspiracy theory. It's just
people
like
think it exists.
This is a thing now.
Yeah.
We accept this as a thing in our lives.
What about this one here?
We know nothing about it.
How do you feel about that conspiracy theory?
Yeah. You don't get your fucking kids vaccinated, I hope you go to jail. That's how I feel about that.
You're a danger to everyone else.
You're literally a danger to everyone else. You're gonna kill my kid. Planet.
Actually, my kid's gonna be vaccinated, but it's bad. You're gonna create bigger diseases. It's gonna become a whole thing.
Vaccinate your children,
please. Yes.
Like, imagine if you don't vaccinate your child and they get a preventable disease and die. What do you do then?
Kill yourself.
Do you die too? I
think you should.
You should definitely be put in jail.
For sure.
That should be...
I think it's child abuse. Or negligence.
It's especially negligence if they get sick.
Yes. And die.
It's a little harder to prove it as negligence if they don't.
Okay, but if they get sick and die, negligence.
You definitely should be punished and prosecuted to the fullest extent.
Essentially murder.
Pretty much.
Because they don't have control over it. Like if they go to the doctor, they're like, "Hey, I want a vaccination," and your parents like, "No," then it's your parents' fault.
Especially because it's a child. Like that child, in the doctor's eyes, they can't. You control what happens to them in that system until they're of a certain age. So when you're denying them that something that they should be getting and something that's going to prevent diseases that could literally kill them, you're just a piece of shit.
So, you don't think it gives autism?
No. It's a genetic disease. That's a whole nother thing. Because we can modify genetics.
Oh, yeah.
It takes a lot more work than injecting a needle in your arm.
Well, the Chinese do it before birth now. What is that called?
Whoa.
You didn't know this?
No.
So this is actually an interesting thing. I can't remember what it's called. But there is a tell me the name of it. I'm trying to find. Yeah, but the Chinese have been genetically modifying
watermelons. That's a thing. You can look it up.
I mean, I don't doubt that that's a thing, but they're actually like modifying human DNA. CRISPR is the experiment.
They use that in fruits and vegetables and stuff too.
Well, that's probably where they started testing them out.
Yeah,
so
they use that to insert genes, or not? They alter genes, not insert, because when you add a gene, it's a GMO. It's a genetically modified organism. But when you just change
those are bad for you to eat.
Well, they're not. But conspiracy theory also, GMOs are not bad for you. Nothing wrong with them.
I think it's similar to fat too. I think it's similar to how we look at fat.
They've been doing it for like 40 years now. There's no recorded death from a GMO.
Yep.
None.
That's why if you look at like milk, it'll say no GMO added, but then it'll also say in like an asterisk, it'll be like GMO has not caused or like formed like diseases. Or anything. It has not been proven to form diseases.
It's just they add they'll add what was it in corn or something? They added a gene to the corn so that when a certain caterpillar ate the corn would crystallize in its stomach because its stomach had a specific protein.
Yep.
So they targeted that protein to crystallize when it's eaten, and then the worm would die and not be able to eat your corn anymore, so it would stop eating your corn. And because obviously they're selection, essentially. It's not natural because it's
when they eat your corn,
but would die. So
then the ones that don't eat your corn live.
Exactly, and they reproduce. So, again, that's just a silly one. If you think vaccines cause autism and GMOs are bad for you, you just should die.
Brutal.
Is that too much?
It's a little harsh.
Should I take that one back?
No, it's fine.
You should go back to high school. How about that?
That's not a bad idea.
Grade school, maybe?
Yeah. While you're in jail.
Yeah, for killing your child.
Pursue an education.
Exactly.
So this is CRISPR. CRISPR is a family of DNA sequences found in the genomes of prokaryotic organisms such as bacteria and archaea.
Yeah, they use bacteria.
So, I mean, so it stands for clustered, regularly interspaced, short palindromic repeats.
Sure.
This is a science podcast.
I think that's where it comes into place. Like once they say we inserted a bacteria to carry a gene, but farmers have been doing similar processes to their vegetables and fruits and stuff. Just it hasn't been this easy. It's just the technology's gotten better. It's gotten easier. They can target instead of adding a gene to corn.
Yep.
They change it. So they're not adding anything. They're not.
Yeah. So this is what it says. It says, the essence of CRISPR is simple. It's a way of finding a specific bit of DNA inside a cell. After that, the next step is CRISPR gene editing. Is usually to alter that piece of DNA.
Yeah.
So it doesn't destroy it; it alters it.
Yeah. Which is better than changing it, because when you change it or when you add a gene instead of just changing it, it can possibly do. They test it, right? So if it did something bad, they wouldn't do it.
They wouldn't release it.
But that's when bad things could happen, because they're adding it. When you add a gene to a human, autism. So maybe that's where the link is.
Maybe.
But that's just hatred towards autistic people, which is really fucked up. And that's the thing with the vaccines is you have such a prejudice towards your child having an issue like this that you would rather them die from a preventable disease than possibly get autism. I think that's the biggest, and some people don't even realize that that's essentially what it boils down to is you'd rather have a dead child than an autistic child.
Kind of messed up.
Which is extremely fucked up. And go to jail.
Yeah.
A couple years from now, there's going to be legislation that you have to do it.
Yep. Colin's going to be president. He's
yep.
going to put you in jail himself.
How old do you have to be to run for president? 40? 35?
35.
When I'm 35, so 14 years from now.
This is him announcing his campaign.
Yeah. I will be president of the United States, and my slogan will be You will vaccinate your children.
Kill your kids, go to jail.
Yeah, something along those lines. How long have we been doing this?
I don't know. Let me check and see what the camera is going.
Because there's still one thing we can talk about.
We got 20 minutes.
20 minutes?
We're good.
That's
so we're at like
time
40.
talking about this.
We're like 40, so we're good. All right, I'm ready. What you got for me?
Are we living in a simulation?
Probably.
I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
No, I really hope we do.
I mean, there's days where I think we do. Because it's like, that just doesn't make sense.
Yeah. I have... The couple issues I have with this is... And there's a couple things. So I told you before we started this, is there's 3 separate podcasts I've listened to fairly recently in the last couple weeks. They have brought up this subject. And every time... So I've taken in a decent bit of information on it, and every time I talk about it, it's like, if we were living in a simulation, what's the goal?
Mm-hmm.
Like, because when you simulate something, we simulate a lot of things to predict outcomes, to do all the simulate things for fun. People literally do simulations on their computer for battles that happened so long ago just to see what could change. Like, how many different outcomes were there for this specific event?
Yeah.
So what's the goal of our simulation?
Mm-hmm.
So some of the theories is like, well, whoever is the overlord of this wants to see how far we can go. Or we're a species that roams the universe, and we come across a planet. So we flew into the Milky Way galaxy. We see these 8 planets, and we copy its data into our ship's database. And we start a simulation on that planet to see what would happen if our species lived on that planet. The problem with that one for me is when you run a simulation, it's instantaneous. You run a simulation, it's done. You find the results. You could then repeat that simulation 1,000 times to see what deviates, to see what's the same throughout each one, if there is anything, the common patterns. So if we're living in that type of simulation, why are we still here? How do we, as the data in a simulation, continue experiencing a simulation if in real life it's instantaneous?
So I don't think it's necessarily instantaneous. It depends. It depends how good and fast and productive your computers are.
Well, they're traveling through space.
That's true.
Pretty good.
I mean, we can travel through space.
They're like,
but we still don't have
they're Han Solo. Okay.
Okay. So maybe it really depends on what systems we're working with. Mm-hmm. So we could be a species, or they could be a species, whatever that has really good, they're really good at creating spaceships, but then their processing systems aren't very good.
They're still running Windows XP.
Yeah, possibly. Even like our computers, if we were to try and simulate something like even what's happened in the past, it wouldn't be instant. It would take a while to get to where we are today, like all mankind. So I think it wouldn't be instantaneous. It could be something that's processed, and if you're living through it, like what if we're that species is implementing themselves into the simulation to see what it would be like?
Well, that's kind of the other theory is, what if it's like the Matrix? Where there's a world outside of the Matrix, but if you're unaware of that and you're in the Matrix, obviously you don't know this is your life.
Yeah.
But you still ended up in there. You were put there by someone, so it'd be kind of the same idea in my mind. There'd be an overlord, some form of controller, a government body. Somehow you were implemented into this program. And you're just, or like the Maze Runner, how they were in the thing. I only watched the first movie, but they broke out of the thingamajig, and they realized that wasn't real. That was all a simulation.
Yep.
So if it's something like that, again, what's the point?
Yeah.
What, like, is there a milestone that we get to? Like you inserted
like a you win type thing.
Yeah,
game over. I guess death would be game over.
Because it's not even our simulation. Like I just now kind of had this bit of an epiphany. It's not a simulation for us. It's our world. Our world would be the simulation. But you started us at a point where we were single-celled organisms, and then you let us evolve. You let all these other animals evolve alongside of us. You let all these technological advances happen. What? Why? And then we get to now, everyone's talking about living in a simulation.
Yeah.
If you're the overlord of a simulation and your creation is like, hey, we might be in a simulation, wouldn't you stop it? Wouldn't you say
no? Because as of right now, not like we don't always take that serious. Like I feel like the large population do not take that serious.
Mm.
So it's like he's like, oh well, I'm just gonna let the big population think this smaller population is dumb, and then the smaller population there's always gonna be a small population that thinks something like that.
Right.
But if the majority doesn't think that, then he doesn't care.
It's just, I think there's too many weird like I just don't understand the point.
Yeah.
Which I guess is kind of like, does religion exist?
Yeah.
To explain why we're here. But if religion exists and we're in a simulation, then there's just so many weird things. Just I don't know.
I don't know either. I mean, there is really no way of knowing.
Yeah.
Like we could just be here
unless we break out.
We're working on that.
Unless he ends it. Or she.
Pull the plug.
They.
But that I feel like we wouldn't even know. But then to think about like, we don't have memories. I think Randy talked about it. Like we don't really have memories before we were 2.
Mm-hmm.
So
like
maybe we didn't exist before we were 2.
That's the earliest you can start to really remember. Scientifically, that's where they've kind of pinpointed.
So it's like maybe nothing happened. Maybe that's
maybe we didn't exist.
Yeah, and then we were like implemented it too, like into the system. Maybe Earth is the simulation, and we've been injected as a virus.
Because we are a virus.
Because we're killing Earth slowly, but we're taking all the resources and we're using it up. Maybe we're I mean we are viruses, but maybe we're viruses in a digital sense.
I thought about that. Maybe we're just in a VR headset right now. I don't like that one either, though, just because, like,
no, I don't like that
one, you would get out.
Is this like a Sword Art Online type thing, though?
Yeah, but it'd be permanent, right? Because, like, you would get in, you say, okay, I'm getting in this program.
And then even in that case, you'd have to have some sort of, like, memory reset. Memory defrag? Is that the name of one of those
Disk
games?
cleanups? Is that what we're doing? Oh. I don't know. That one, I've thought about that one a lot. It doesn't, there has to be an end goal.
You can keep talking, but
shit.
Keep talking.
There has to be something that quantifies an end. Because if you're running a simulation, you're running it for a reason. You don't just, regardless of what the overlord, regardless of who created it, whatever the means of how this came about.
Yeah.
You run a simulation for a specific reason. Whether it's to see how long this species can last, whether it's to see if we are the species testing the planet, because it could be that. It could be how long can we as a species inherit this planet and live there until we destroy it, or maybe we never do destroy it, and it'll get to the point where they're like, okay, it's been long enough. But again, if they can't run, if it's not instantaneous, it's pointless. Because even if it's not instantaneous, it's a fraction of what we've experienced. So if 10 seconds to them is 1,000 years, it's still just 10 seconds to them. It's a blip in time.
Yeah.
So it's just like, I don't think it is. That's my stance. I don't think we're in a simulation.
I don't think so either.
And I don't think...
I was just trying to play devil's advocate.
No, I understand. And you brought up really good points as the devil's advocate. It was very good devil-y. I liked it. It's just, yeah. I don't know. I just don't... I'm saying right now, we're not in a simulation.
I don't believe we are either.
It's illogical.
I think it makes more sense that we're not.
Yeah. And if you're simulating something,
I think how you brought up it's like why religion exists. It's like that's how people rationalize our existence because our brains can't comprehend why or how we're actually here. Mm-hmm. So I think that's how some people think of, like some people are like, oh, God created us to worship Him, mm-hmm. or in this like we're in a simulation. But then even like that, you had mentioned why, but it's like, well, maybe we're a virus, maybe. He just wants to watch us dick around. Like, who knows?
Yeah, I don't know.
Like, I think it's very it's on the same level where there's really no way of knowing. Mm-hmm.
I mean, maybe one day we'll prove it.
Yeah.
Maybe one day Akihiko Kaiba will show up in his big red gown and say, "What does he say in that opening scene?"
I don't know.
As you'll see on the menu, the log off button.
Yeah, hold on. Let me check.
Yeah, and they're like, ding, 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 ding. But he's gonna show up to us and be like, oh, saw, dude. I'm God.
You guys are cooler than I thought.
Yeah. Let's hang out sometime.
Want to go to Star Wars World? Like the actual like place? I'm running that simulation over here. I can just plug the USB in. No, I guess there's no way of knowing.
No.
And then even if we are in the simulation, like there's gotta be who's to say back to if we're the only life, like we're in a simulation, but who's to say that there's not other simulations that aren't aware of us?
Yeah. Even if it, like I said, because I don't know, I'm blowing my own mind.
Yeah.
I can't even speak anymore.
I mean,
my speakers are broken.
Your speakers?
I hope your speakers aren't broken.
No, they should be good. I mean, if they would be able to listen to us, so. Alright, I think we're a little over an hour. My battery's gonna die too.
Oh god, we're falling apart.
Falling apart. Video section. First part, whatever.
It'll get better.
Yeah.
That's your job.
Alright, we're back. Clap, clap.
Clap, clap.
Just to make sure.
Mic check.
Mic. Alright, that's on a different thing, that's fine. Alright, so do you have anything to say before we wrap up here?
Vaccinate your children.
Yep. The Earth is round.
The Earth is round. There was another one. What was the other one?
I don't know.
Me neither.
There was another one about similar to
whatever we said.
Vaccinate your children. You heard us.
Yeah.
If you made it this far,
you were there.
Who skips to the outro anyway?
Yeah, exactly.
All right. So normal stuff. Oh, recommendation. So before
this is you.
This is me.
Mm-hmm.
I had 2 last week. Yeah.
You
I
had
thought of 2.
Thought of 2.
So the second one is I recently, while I was on vacation, I was reading, but then I was also watching a show. In the show, I was watching old show, The Sopranos. Have you watched the show?
I haven't watched it. Obviously, I know of it.
Yeah, so it's very popular.
Right.
Very good show. I finished season 1. I watched one episode of season 2. Very much enjoy it. The concept and everything. The characters are all good.
What is it? Is it like a sitcom?
No, so it's like a mob, like drama, I guess. So it's about how Tony Soprano is like a mobster, but he is struggling with depression and anxiety. So actually, the way the story is told is almost like he's sitting with a therapist.
Okay.
But it's like, so it happens, but then he's like, so what do you think about this? Like, in a way. So it's pretty cool. I definitely like that. It's on Amazon Prime, 6 seasons. So I'll be watching more of that. You can find us at our Twitter, Facebook. Where else? YouTube, which you should be watching. All the links for all the other social medias as well as the YouTube if you're listening, will be in the description, so you can find us there. I think that's it for this week.
Yeah, I think so.
So until next week, we look forward to blowing your minds.
Talking to you.
Seeing you then.
Speaking at you. Blowing you kisses.